So I gotta make it so I can select this bed, the pillow for this bed, and not get these other pieces with it. So how am I gonna? I'm space bar to get the select tool, and we're gonna try this again. I could use the space bar, hit the space bar, double click on this guy, double click here. I'm holding the shift key down to add to my selection to get these pieces, and I orbit around. Space bar, hold down the shift key. We're adding to the selection. Okay, you see how I'm doing that? You can try that for yourself. I mean, I'm trying to save myself a little bit of time. I don't know how much time I'm saving here. Move, and I'm going to hold down. You would hold down the control key to make a duplicate. So maybe I did save myself a little bit of work. After fighting with the push-pull, I don't want to have to try to do that again. The bed here, so let's hit the paintbrush. We got like a limited set of colors here. If you click on the home, we should load up and get a whole range of colors. We have also like carpet textures and stuff in here we can put in and things. So if you have some of that stuff in your room, we're going to be using some of these later here. In fact, I can do a nice beige carpet now just for kicks. Yeah, let's try this one. So yeah, let's go here to the colors. So that's my bed, and I'm going to one of the things that I'm going to do here that you know you may or may not need to do with your car is making things grouping things so it acts like a discrete object. And one of the reasons that we want to be able to do this is when we go to move this. So if I just use the M for move and I go to pick this up, it's going to grab that surface and distort it. I don't want to do that. I want to pick up the whole thing and move it into place here in my room. So I'm going to use the select tool. I'm going to go space bar to get the select tool, and I'm going to click 3 times on this, and by doing that it's going to select all the connected pieces on my object. And by the way, this is why I drew it separate away from the floor of my room, so I could build this and have it treated as a separate piece. I'm going to click 3 times and right click and make it a group. And now when I use the move function, it's going to move around. I want to center it on this wall, so I'm going to orbit around here a little bit, and I'm going to use the move tool, and I think it'll let me grab at that midpoint on that line, and I think, yeah, it's going to jump right to the midpoint on this line. How slick is that? So now I know that it's centered in my little room right there. Nightstands, actually this has got 2 nightstands on either side of it, so I'm going to start over here again with a rectangle. These are much smaller. I didn't get measurements on these, so I'm just going to guesstimate that these are going to be 12 inches by 18 inches. Make it 1 inch thick. I'm going to click on it 3 times, make it a group, and then build the legs on the bottom of it. Rectangle. Hello, there we go. We'll call these 1, 1, and then I can do that. Let's make it no, we'll make it 27 long. Because I grouped this, it's a separate piece, so I can triple click on this and make it a group. But then I can use the move tool and put copies on here. A lot of mistake people make is when they do this operation, they click on this, use the move tool, and I want to click on this corner so it lines up, and I want to make the duplicate. But notice that this one is now selected, but if I click here because I want to drag this one over to this corner, watch what happens. Oh, but it didn't duplicate this one, it duplicated this one because this one was the one that was selected. But that's not a big deal. I can just grab it and drag it over here. Move, make a copy. Again, I am using the move tool to grab a group, but I'm holding down the control key when I do that. You notice when it's going to be hard to see, when I click the control key and let go, it makes that plus sign. That's going to make a duplicate instead of moving. So I can click it again and let go to turn that off. Usually what I do is I just hold the control key when I click, and then it will make the duplicate. Yeah, that's a good start. These have a built-in light. I'm going to simplify the whole deal for the built-in light, I think. I want to center my rectangle right here. So I'm going to hit the control key and then it's going to center. Okay, and I'm just going to delete this line work out. I just put this line work in to help me place where that was going to go. And I'm going to push this up 24 inches, let's say. How does that look? No, that looks way too high. So I can bring that back down a little bit. Make it a group. And I'm just doing that to help preserve this geometry I've built in there. And I'm making an X here so I know where the center of this is. I'm going to make a C for circle. I'm going to make a big circle here. Let's see, this is going to be the radius. If I want it to be, let's say a 9-inch radius on the bottom here for my lampshade. That's a little big. C for circle. We'll go 8-inch. That's okay. I'm going to erase the center marks. P for push-pull. I'm going to double-click on this upper piece here, and I'm going to use the scale tool. And I'm going to hold down the control key again so that it scales from the center. And now you can see it starts to look like a lampshade, doesn't it? My little nightstands here are going to be wooden, so I'm going to find some wood texture. So this is my nightstand. I'm going to make the whole thing a group. So I'm going to go to the select tool and right click and group it again. So now I've got groups inside of groups, but that's okay. I'm going to use the move tool and grab it at a corner so it sits on that surface. And I'm going to put one on the other side. See, it wants to jump up on top of the bed. No, I don't want to do that. So far so good. Let's try to do the closets. Closet here, and I'm just going to have this panel with a vented panel on it. Some of you maybe are like that, or maybe you have different style. Easiest way to do this is I've drawn one line, and now I'm going to use the move. So I use the select tool. I drew the line, and I use the select tool, and now I'm going to use the move tool, and I'm going to use and make a duplicate. And I'm going to drag where I want this to end down here, and then let go. And then before you do anything or click on anything, we're going to use a / and to divide that distance. So it's going to add a bunch of lines. This is a distribution operation. Not necessarily something you need to do for your car. Let's see, that was 45. but it is an easy way to make a lot of detail really quickly. So now I'm going to use the line tool, do the same thing over here.